All Ask Grandma Carol projects that involve cooking, baking, and using sharp objects, like blades or knives, should be completed with the help of an adult. Welcome to Ask Grandma Carol. Today I have a question from Amelia. Dear Grandma Carol, she writes, I'd like to be able to make brownies. Can you show us how? Amelia, I'd love to show you how to make brownies. And I have a humorous story to share with you before we begin. When I was not too much older than you, I would visit my grandparents in Miami Beach, Florida. My grandmother and I would sometimes shop at a large department store and sometimes have lunch at their restaurant. I thought the brownies they had there were the best I had ever tasted and wrote asking for the recipe, which they generously shared. I was thrilled to have the recipe, and when I returned home, made them. Since they hadn't shared the recipe for the frosting, I created my own topping. Well, I was very proud of my brownies and named them Chocolate Wonders. My younger brother and sisters were quick to burst my bubble. They renamed them Chocolate Blunders. We all still laugh about that to this day. So let's bake brownies, the kind that are fudgy and moist with crispy edges. Before we get started, let's preheat the oven to 325 degrees. We'll also line the 8" by 8" baking pan with parchment paper that hangs off the sides for easy removal. A little bit of oil sprayed inside the dish before applying the parchment paper will secure it in place. We're going to make traditional brownies today. I'll post the recipe at askgrandmacarol.com on the recipe page. First, we'll combine all the dry ingredients in one bowl. Add 1½ cups of granulated sugar, 3/4 cup of flour, 2/3 cup of cocoa powder, 1/2 cup powdered sugar, and 3/4 teaspoon salt in a mixing bowl. Next, let's combine all the wet ingredients in another bowl. Add 2 large eggs and 1/2 cup neutral tasting oil. Neutral tasting oils include canola, corn, peanut, and safflower. Now add 2 tablespoons water and 1 teaspoon vanilla. Well, that's done. Now we can mix the ingredients from both bowls together. Once this is done, add 1/2 cup melted semi-sweet chocolate morsels. All that's left is to pour it into the prepared glass dish and smooth out the top. The batter is ready to bake. I've just put the brownies in the oven. Bake the brownie mix for 90 minutes. You'll know when it's ready to come out of the oven when you insert a toothpick and it comes out almost clean. Now is the time for patience. Pull the brownies out of the pan using the parchment paper, there we go, after partially cooled. Let them cool completely before slicing to make cutting easier and cleaner. It's time for the taste test. Yes, only the outside is totally cooled, but I want to do a taste test, so I'll cut a little piece right now. These are fabulous. They are as good as I promised and better. You'll see when you bake them at home. Do you have a question for Grandma Carol? Email me at askgrandmacarol@yahoo.com. Yours just might be one of the questions that gets answered on the show. And don't forget to give this episode a thumbs up and subscribe to be notified when new Ask Grandma Carol videos come out.